What's going on, you guys? Frost here, and I'm back with another guide. This time we'll be talking about Vi Jungle. The following subjects will be mentioned in this guide: champion description, abilities, leveling order, runes, masteries, the item build, and ending off with the jungle routes. I'll also be talking about ganking strategies in the jungle route part. If you want to go to a specific subject straight away, you can click on it right now. Champion description. Vi is a strong fighter. She deals a lot of damage whilst becoming insanely tanky at the same time. Her early game power isn't all that good. Your main goal here is just to get to level 4 as fast as you can. After level 4 though, her power starts growing. This is because Vi skills like a beast off of AD. And all she needs is 2, maybe 3 damage items to remove anyone from the map instantly. Another thing is, with Vi you don't really have to worry about ganking that much, since her ult allows for pretty much a free kill every time it's up. If you like a champion that does a lot of damage while still being able to tank everything, Vi is definitely the champion for you. Vi's abilities. Her passive, Blast Shield. When Vi damages an enemy with an ability, she gains a shield, which absorbs damage equal to 10% of her maximum health for 3 seconds. Her first ability, Vault Breaker. Once you hold down your Q, Vi starts channeling, increasing the range and damage over 1.25 seconds. While channeling, Vi's movement speed is slowed by 15%. When you release your Q, Vi dashes toward the cursor's location, dealing physical damage and applying denting blows to all enemies hit. When Vi collides with an enemy champion, she stops, knocking the champion back. You can use the skill for several things: helping you wave clear by fully charging this, and then using your E right after on the last minion you hit with your Q. You can also use this for mobility, since you can go over walls with this skill, or you can use it to gank, dealing a solid amount of damage whilst giving a small CC. But this small CC is enough time for you to auto attack once and E right after for some good burst damage. You can also use flash at the same time you let go of this ability, to get that extra distance and unexpected gap closer onto the enemy. Her second ability, Denting Blows. Every third attack on the same target deals an additional physical damage equal to a percentage of the target's maximum health. This caps against minions and monsters at 300 damage. It also reduces the target's armor by 20% and grants Vi a bonus attack speed that scales with the levels you put in the skill, going up to 50%. This skill is what makes Vi so strong, especially in this patch. It basically makes killing tanks and objectives like Baron and Dragon a walk in the park. This ability also makes your jungle clear really fast, since you can shred through camps from the 300 damage you gain of each third hit, and the attack speed you gain to get those 300 damage hit more often. Also, it pretty much removes all the armor the camps have. Her third ability, Excessive Force. Vi passively stores charges every few seconds, up to a maximum of 2 stored charges at once. When using this ability, Vi gains bonus attack range, and it causes her next basic attack to deal a bonus physical damage as well as hitting all the enemies in a cone behind the target. This skill is used for a couple of things: either to get the auto attack reset to get your stacks of denting blows on the targets faster, or to use it as wave clear instantly when combining this with your Q. Her fourth ability, Assault and Battery. Vi targets an enemy champion and chases it down, performing an uppercut upon reaching the target, dealing physical damage and knocking the target up for 1.25 seconds. Whilst charging, Vi is immune to CC and will knock enemies that stand in her way to the side, dealing 75% of the damage to them. This skill is what makes Vi so easy. It pretty much means a free kill every time it's up. You can use this skill in combination with your Q and flash to get an even bigger gap closer that people cannot escape from. Leveling these abilities. Starting off, I take W on level 1. This offers you the most for the initial camp clear. On level 2, I take E to get the auto attack reset and extra damage for a faster clear in the jungle. And I take Q on level 3 to either gank or use this to farm my jungle even faster. I max my W first. Yes, I max my W first, not Q, since W offers you more stats in general and a faster jungle clear. The damage onto the enemy champions doesn't really make a difference with either W or Q, so W is better first max overall. I max my Q second for the lower cooldown and mobility it offers, and I max my E last for leveling. This doesn't really do much. It doesn't give you a lot of value. And of course, you max your R whenever possible. The runes. On Vi I go 9 AD marks, 9 armor seals, 9 flat magic resist glyphs and 3 flat AD quints, giving me 15 AD, 9 armor and 12 magic resist. I take flat values on my armor and magic resist to make my early game a bit stronger, since the early few levels is the only place where Vi is slacking. And I take flat AD because Vi scales really well off of AD, and this allows you for the most damage. The Masteries. For Vi, I go 21 in offense and 9 in defense. You want to make sure that you get at one point in spell weaving, since this will help you get some more damage in. because Vi is very auto attack based. The rest of this is pretty standard, going for maximum damage. In defense, I take health and health regen for some more sustain, and the defense against the jungle camps. The item build. I start with a machete, 2 health potions and a warding trinket. After my initial clear, I buy my Trailblazers upgrade and boots, and if you have enough money, get yourself a longsword as well. Now, this is where I split up my builds. I have 2. The first build will be a more damage oriented carry yourself style of build, and the second will be more of a tanky trust your team to carry you style. The first build. The first item you want to go for is the Trailblazers Warrior Jungle item. This will offer you the most damage as well as the fastest jungle clear for your first item. After this, you want to build into your Cutlass. This will offer you damage and lifesteal, as well as an active that provides you with a slow and some damage. Right after Cutlass, you want to get yourself a Brutalizer. You want to get this over finishing your Blade of the Rune King at this point in the game, because it offers you more value at the stage. It gives you more damage, which upgrading your Cutlass into a Blade of the Rune King doesn't, and it's also cheaper. It also offers you armor penetration and cooldown reduction, and these are things that will help you greatly in this stage of the game. Now, after you bought your Brutalizer, you want to finish your Blade of the Rune King, since the attack speed it offers, as well as the upgrade to the passive and active of Blade of the Rune King, will offer you an insane damage increase. After you bought your Blade of the Rune King, you want to start building tanky, starting off with finishing your boots into Ninja Tabbies. I get Ninja Tabbies because they offer you the most damage reduction out of all the boots. And I will only get Merc Threats over Ninja Tabbies if the enemy team has a lot of heavy CC. After finishing my boots, I start building into my Randuins. You want to get the health part of this item first, since she will give you most tankiness at this stage. Right after you finish your Randuins, you want to build into a Spirit Visage. This will give you magic resist, cooldown reduction and increased healing. And this will allow you to become very tanky, because you also get more health back from lifesteal and your Blade of the Rune King active. And with your damage, that will mean a lot. And as a final thing you want to do in this build path, you want to finish your Brutalizer into a Black Cleaver. Black Cleaver gives Vi insane armor shred along with her W, and will allow you to ramp up your damage to extreme amounts against single targets. This build path is what I recommend you use in the current patch, because high health, tanky champions are people's favorites, since the introduction of the Cinder item. And with this build, you will shred through those champions in a blink of an eye. The second build. This build focuses a lot on getting as tanky as possible to give your team a big frontline. But with this build comes a certain playstyle. The playstyle is peel for your damage dealers. As soon as you leave them to die, there's not much you can do on your own. This is the Vi build you would see in competitive League of Legends, and is something that I do not recommend for solo queue. Now for the build. After your initial clear, you want to go for Warrior Enchanted Trailblazers. This offers you the best clear speed you can possibly have. After this, you want to build straight tank items. The first item you generally want to go for is Randuins, since this offers you a slow as well as armor and health. Right after your Randuins, you want to finish your boots into Ninja Tabbies or Merc Threats against high CC teams. After finishing your boots, build into Banshees. You don't want to get Spirit Visage here because you're not building to lifesteal, so it makes this item pretty worthless. Banshees will offer you a spell shield, which will make it very annoying for people to deal with you in the front line. After this, start building into a Warmox, to gain a massive amount of HP and make the armor and magic resist you build already even more valuable. Right now, you want to sell your Warrior Jungle item and get yourself a Cinder Hulk for an even bigger increase in your health. Your total build at this point will give you 2100 health in items. Cinder will increase that by 25%. This amounts to 525 health. And as a final item, I recommend getting a Thornmail. This will pretty much make you impossible to kill, and if they manage to kill you, they will pretty much have killed themselves as well. The jungle routes, starting here on the blue side of the map. This side of the map will pretty much allow you for the best clear. You could switch it around and do this on the other side of the map, which I would generally do. I would generally start double golems and just ask your top laner for some help, because this clear pretty much means you go back with the most amount of gold and the most amount of efficiency. Now I'm going to talk a little bit about ganking with Vi, because some people have been requesting me to talk about ganks more, which I'll do now. There are 3 positions a lane can generally be in: at your turret, at the middle of the lane, or at their turret. Let's get into top lane first. Let's say you're blue side of the map top lane, and your top laner is getting pushed in. Now, then the position of the lane will pretty much be on your side. At this point, you can, for blue side, walk through the Tribush and then walk from behind to gank him. That's one way, or straight up walk to the river, depending on how far he is into your side of the lane. When it's middle lane, you can do the same thing, walk around the back But you can also do a lane gank, which I would recommend more. Because a lane gank means you pretty much walk into the brushes on the side of the lane. For top lane, these ganks are pretty much the strongest ganks you can do. Because it's the most unexpected gank there is. People don't ward for lane ganks. At least I've never seen anyone really ward for lane gank. Unless you've done it like twice before, then they're gonna ward for it. It pretty much means a free kill. It's the same thing I do for Rengar. You can pretty much just walk into the brush when the lane is about middle size to more their side of the side. Like their side of the lane. That would be best for lane ganks. But once it's freezing in the middle, you can pretty much always walk into the first brush and just stand on the edge. With Vice Q, you can make that gap close pretty easily to get the gank off. Alright, for mid lane there's pretty much nothing you can do gank wise, to be honest. You can on blue side walk like from the bit of the Wraiths. That little land you can see right now on top of the Wraith there. That little bit of land you can walk into the lane that way and then charge your Q and try to hit someone with it. That's the best way to gank mid lane with Vi. Even though I pretty much recommend you waiting until you have your ult before you gank this lane, because this is a very short lane and they can easily run away from you, which sucks, to be honest. So that's why I always want to wait for my ult on this on that gank. A mid lane gank, just wait for your ult. It's a much freer kill and generally mid laners can escape this. Alright, now for bot lane ganks, you pretty much always want to gank bot lane when your support can actually do something. Let's say you have Thresh support. Thresh support is a great support to gank for, because he can throw a lantern to you and you can easily get into the lane for free basically and just just charge your Q then, and then you can pretty much always have the kill. But if you have something like Blitzcrank and you're really relying on hitting that hook, I wouldn't recommend ganking bot lane without your ult either. Then now there of course becomes a choice. Do you ult mid or you ult bot lane? I generally like to ult bot lane more than I like to ult mid lane, because bot lane is still 2 kills. And if you can make that gank work better, you have 2 people that get fed off that gank instead of 1. Yes, that one is your AP carry, and yes, I know that pretty much your AP carry can carry a lot of games, but you're pretty much relying on that one person if you're gonna only gank that lane. And as well, mid lane is easier to gank than bot lane without your ult, because you still have that option of walking like by the side of the Wraiths and walking into their back, you know, to get that gank off. That's a pretty solid gank and will pretty much always work if they don't have it warded. Right, that's pretty much all I have to say about ganks. As Vi, you really actually on level 4 after your first back, you want to try to get Dragon, because she's really good at doing Dragon, especially with 2 points in your W. You can pretty much always pull this off. I think, especially on the blue side, you can just Q over the wall against the Dragon and then do a lot of damage that way. Just try it out, you'll see. Alright guys, thanks for watching this. I'm currently working on another video and I'm planning to do something with the channel, so if you wanna... Well, there will be a video out soon on just talking about what plans I have for this channel, so look out for that. And if you've liked this, please give it a like, share it with your friends, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!